What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the No World Order Podcast IG Live Edition. We have Zach in the house. I'm your host, Drew. We're coming from San Diego, California. It is, September 8th, 2020?
September 8th, 2020.
September 8th, getting close to that,
9/11.
9/11, getting close to that. But today we are going to talk about this Operation Warped Speed. Bikers for Trump.
Out of the gate.
Classic. You do look like a biker. You look like the American badass.
I need some dip.
And you're
dip,
wearing
by
a
the way.
wrestling shirt, so it kind of goes hand in hand.
I am the American Nightmare, Zach.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about this Operation Warp Speed. We're going to be talking about Trump. Has he changed his tune on vaccines? We will see. I've read a few quotes. Kind of talk about some military stuff, where we stand on all of that. And yeah, let's just kind of get into it. I'm kind of concerned about this Operation Warp Speed. It kind of aims to deliver 300 million doses of safe, effective vaccine for COVID-19 by January 2021.
Good Lord.
And I think he's even trying to push that up by the special day, which people are, assuming to be before the election. And it's part of a broader strategy to accelerate the development, manufacturing, and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics, collectively known as countermeasures.
Countermeasures.
So what is your thoughts on that initial statement of Operation Warp Speed?
It's scary, and I'm hoping that it's bullshit. I'm hoping it's like Trump trying to pacify people, or for the Trump supporters that are like still pro-vax, he's like, okay, well, here, like, I got one for you. I hope it's not a fucking knock at your door, search you out like Nazis, and stick a needle in your arm against your will.
I think we'll get into that in a little bit, but I think that is kind of my concern, because couple months ago, late July, somewhere around there, he straight up said like the military is going to be distributing the vaccine. So it's like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
And why would he have the military going around and giving people vaccines? And he said like the elderly would be the first to get it, and so it's like, what is really going on?
I've heard a few people say that black people should have it first. Like, I think Bill Gates' wife said that.
Well, I was reading straight from the White House website of, this is what Operation Warp Speed is. This is the plan. This is, all the facts about it. So that's what I was going on. I wasn't going from any hearsay. I was going directly from the government website of, to get what they are saying.
And I guess since, we withdrew from the world. Wait, no, did we withdraw from the WHO? Or was it the UN? It was the WHO, right?
Yeah.
So then that's where the Gateses are. So hopefully whatever she says, Bill Gates' husband says, isn't real.
Yeah. And so the question was, how will they get it done? It says by investing in and coordinating countermeasure development. Operation Warp Speed will allow countermeasures such as a vaccine to be delivered to patients more rapidly while adhering to standards for safety and efficiency. Who is involved? I think this is where it gets a little
okay, there we go. I fucking knew that shit was happening.
So who is involved? Operation Warp Speed is a partnership among components of the Department of Health and Humane Services, including the CDC, the FDA, the National Institute of Health, and the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, and the Department of Defense. Operation Warp Speed engages with private firms and other federal agencies, including the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Energy, and the Department of Veterans Affairs. It will coordinate existing health HHS-wide efforts, including the NIH's accelerating COVID-19 therapeutic interventions and vaccines. Active partnership, NIH's rapid acceleration of diagnostics initiative and work by Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. So it sounds like he's partnering up with all of these same people that we've kind of been calling out.
Why? Do you have any idea why? Other than it hopefully is it just a ploy to pacify people?
I don't understand it. This is kind of... This is one thing that's like really concerning because he seems to have been really against all of this initially and kind of speaking out against it and saying it was a hoax or anything, but saying it would pass and it's not this. And if it's not anything, why are you rushing for a vaccine and to like have the military, hand it out to people? Like, I don't like this. And then to be partnering with these same people that you've been kind of calling out and having conflict with this entire time. I don't understand it.
You think maybe it's just like water? It's like salt water. And he just like, I want to get my non-vaccines out to everybody first. I feel like this is a QAnon thing. Like it's a fake vaccine to make it look like you've had a vaccine, but really you've had no vaccine. Or is he just...
but they're working with these people.
Is he controlled opposition?
Yeah, I mean,
he has said in the past that vaccines cause autism.
That's what we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to some of his quotes that he said. I jumped the gun quite a bit. Yeah, but so let's just get into it. It says, how is it being funded? So the Congress has directed almost $10 billion to this effort through supplemental funding, including the CARES Act, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. Congress has also appropriated other flexible funding. The almost $10 billion specifically directed includes more than $6.5 billion designated for countermeasure development through BARDA and $3 billion for NIH research. So we're paying for it.
Of course we are.
And I don't care how you say it, but yeah, we're paying for it, and then they're going to like mass distribute it. I don't like any
with the
part
military.
Of this.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, with the military. Like,
what do we do? Do we hide? November 1st, do we just like lock our doors and put a like we're not here sign up? How do we avoid it?
That's what's, I don't know, man. So this is what he said in late July. It said, we've dramatically ramped up production of materials needed for a vaccine and are on track to rapidly produce 100 million doses as soon as a vaccine is approved, which could be very, very soon. Our great military, a group of people, their whole life is based around logistics and bringing things to and from locations, he continued. They'll be able to care of this locationally and bring it where it has to go very quickly. They're all mobilized. It's been fully set up. A very, very talented general is in charge. And when we have that vaccine, it'll be discharged and taken care of. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And this might segue into where you're going next a little bit. But these are dudes who are not medical professionals, right? I mean, it's the military, and he said it's people that do transport. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand secure transport. I get that. There's people that do that professionally. Okay, whatever. But if you know how vaccines are actually handled, manufactured, and then shipped out to hospitals and then stored in hospitals, it changes hands too much. And every time it changes hands, there's room for error. If these things are not refrigerated the way they're supposed to be properly, for the time they're supposed to be and cared for, with all the batch numbers being in sync and appropriate, they have adverse reactions to the point where hospitals have admitted, oh, this batch was actually bad. Your kid is going to have X, Y, and Z symptoms forever. Like it's like the things that people are like, oh, vaccines don't do that. If they're expired or if they're not refrigerated, they do that. Yeah. And hospitals have come out and said it.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of people that have never handled these things before, handling them quicker than ever or than anyone ever has.
And I don't want to like put on blast what you do, but I know you've been around a lot of autism, kids with autism and stuff like that, so you've seen kind of firsthand of kind of what's going on, and it's like, I don't know. I used to live with, my dad used to be married to someone who had 3 kids with autism. I wasn't aware of what caused it then. I didn't ask the questions, but all I know is I hear from, like, there's a couple comedians. There's 2 comedians I know specifically, Ron Funches and Brendan Schaub. Both of them have kids who, when they got their kids vaccinated, after that, they started forming autism and these problems. And it was only after that. So it's like, you know, they even say, like, I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm not saying that.
Should
it's
be.
just, yeah, but it's just, I know for myself, I'm more protective of it. And it did affect me. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
I don't know from experience. You know more from experience dealing with people like that. But I can only hear it from secondhand, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's sad, that's for sure.
It's a trip. So I do behavior modification with individuals that have special needs, and like 99% of the time it's autism because there's a lot of it. It's always growing. People don't talk about that. Is the real epidemic is fucking autism. When I like met my now wife, she had just gotten into the field, and it was like 1 in 120 or some stupid shit. Then it was 180, and it was 1 in 60, 78. Now it's like 1 in 34 in New Jersey, and no one is asking why. Why are these numbers raising? Why are more people getting it? Why? Yeah, more tests. Like what? All of the fucking all of our resources are going to the presidency and fucking coronavirus. 1 in 34 children, and at least in New Jersey, I think it's like 1 in 38 in the rest of the states, have autism. And if it's a scale, so it goes anywhere from like what used to be considered Asperger's, which you could probably lead a life by yourself, have your own place, you get married, do all those things, to some people are gonna need hands-on, one-on-one, sometimes two-on-one attention for the rest of their lives. That takes and not only is it altering their life and their family's life forever, but it's altering the people who take care of these people's lives, who are not fucking compensated and sometimes not even trained, and sometimes terrible people. But
yeah, I mean, I witnessed that firsthand living with that family, you know, because it's like I was kind of just thrown into that because I was living with my dad, and he decided to move in with this lady. He had just kind of met her. Like, I don't know how long they had been talking before, but it's like I had just met them. And then it was like probably within a month, it was like, boom, we're leaving where we're living and moving in with them. And yeah, man, it's like you can see, I think these kids were more high functioning than others, but you can tell like they had their moments and things like that where it would be difficult. Like one of the kids would like wake up with like night terrors and stuff and be screaming at like 4 a.m. and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it affects the whole family, the whole household. And it's a sad thing. Like I said, I wasn't aware of what it was then, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with vaccines and all of that, but who knows?
I do. It does.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we may need to do like a whole 2-3-parter or just a whole show on autism, because I could talk about it fucking forever. I've seen the pictures of kids before the shots, and there's life in their eyes, and they're making eye contact, and then the day after they look zonked out, and that's just how they look for the rest of their lives, because
cognitive ability just goes down. And
cognitive ability, theory of mind, fucking like OCD, peanut allergies connected with some of this shit.
Really?
Yeah, like I was looking at a graphs of like as like the more time that's gone on, like our parents I think got like 6 vaccines when they were kids.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever.
Yeah. So how are you for like safe vaccines?
I'm out on it.
All of it?
I'm out on all of it, because the way a vaccine works is it basically it sends a fucking drive-by to a little kid in a fucking driveway. Like, you don't need all of that to scare the kid into action. But what they do is they put fucking metals, they put dead baby tissue, they put the fucking virus itself. They put all this shit in there to create what's called a cytokine storm, which basically smacks your fucking immune system around to the most volatile action it can possibly produce.
Dude, what's
some
crazy,
people can't do that.
Hold on real quick. I've been reading like multiple stories when I do my Tuesday morning tokes that cannabis helps with those what is it?
Cytokine storm?
Yeah.
Really?
It helps with that. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
So if you like got a forced vaccine, but you hit a blunt real quick, like
it might help. Yeah, it might help. But
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like, cause like there's been kind of studies kind of going on with this COVID virus that cannabis has helped, and it said something with that
cytokine storm.
Yeah.
It's fucked. It's old 100-year-old fucking science, and basically sometimes it works on some people, and other times it doesn't work, and other times you can fucking die or have a lifelong injury. It's literally like, it's a gamble. It's fucking roulette. And the CDC, go to the CDC's website. It says, oh yeah, out of this fucking vaccine, this many people out of 10,000 die.
Jeez.
So when you give your kid a vaccine, you think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You are literally gambling with your child's life and livelihood. And I ain't about it. I ain't for safe vaccines. My wife is, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Go in the sun, eat the right fucking food. Like, build your immune system. We we have a crazy body that does all sorts of crazy shit. Just fucking give it what it needs. It'll fight shit.
I mean, I'm sure I'm sure you were vaccinated as a kid, right?
I was a military family, bro. We have all the probably so test vaccines.
Do you wish that, you wouldn't have been? Like, who knows what who you would be? Like, dude, it's crazy, right?
I remember. So I know autism now. I love my fucking kiddos and the people that I work with that have autism. I started to understand myself more once I understood autism, which to me was like, oh shit, I need to go back a little bit. And so I started to look at stuff from when I was a kid and things I would think and things I would do. I 100% was on the spectrum. Like no one, they didn't look for it back then. They're just like, oh, they're quirky or they're a little quiet or whatever. I remember watching a ceiling fan for fucking 20 minutes at a time. Like, that's not typical.
Yeah. You know what's funny is there's the new Netflix show called like Love on the Spectrum or something like that. And my dad had it on, and I watched like a couple little like episodes of them kind of describing some of their like things that their quirks or some of their triggers or whatever. And I was like, yo, that's me. And then like another, I was like, oh, that's me too. And then my dad was like, I think a lot of these are. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. And then I just wanted to say to Isaiah, is like, some of the vaccines, they even said like it takes. Donald Trump brags, oh yeah, they normally take like 10 years. It's like, that kind of should be the proper research. Like, we shouldn't be rushing these things. And then it's a terrible thing. I don't like any part of this Operation Warp Speed.
I don't like it either. I was just talking about semen retention. Don't worry. No worries there. I don't like it. I don't trust it. I'm like actually slightly paranoid about what's going to happen when push comes to shove. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into. So Donald Trump in 2007 said this. Quote, when I was growing up...
You have to do the voice.
No. When I was growing up, autism wasn't really a factor, and now all of a sudden, it's an epidemic. My theory here, I study it because I have young children.
It's perfect.
My theory is the shots. We're giving them massive injections at one time, and I really think it does something to the children.
Yeah, that was well done, by the way. Well,
just awful.
That was great. Good commitment. But yeah, he has said shit connecting vaccines and the downward spiral of children's health going forward. Like, it's true.
So then in 2012, he said, I'm not doing it again. Nope.
Yeah,
I've seen people where they have a perfectly healthy child and they go for the vaccinations, and a month later, the child is no longer healthy.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's like he's had this stance for quite a long time, and then kind of to see this rushed vaccination process is like really, it's suspect for sure.
It doesn't. So I try to make linear sense. Mm-hmm. Right. I love animals, so I don't eat cheeseburgers. Whatever. So I try to things should try to make sense ubiquitously. Yeah. I feel like that's a good way to try to lead your life. I don't understand what this is. Trump says basically they cause autism. And then he's like, oh, but I got the fastest vaccine I believe to get cleared and fucking to market was 4 years.
Yeah.
That was the fastest one. And like you said, that's not even typical. It's usually 10 years.
Yeah, they say it's about 10 years.
And what sucks about it too, there's always money and politics behind fucking everything, but there's always an arms race for the vaccines. Like if you go look at the polio vaccine, there was 3 motherfuckers out there doing illegal shit, using monkeys that had fucking cancers in them to try and be the first one to make that vaccine to get that cash. That right there tells us that this is not the safest option. At the very least, it's like when Ford makes a new type of car, they might have some kinks, and then maybe 2-3 down the years, that model gets really good. The first wave of vaccines, there's gotta be some shit with them.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and I would even say it's less than 8 months, because I guarantee they weren't talking about a vaccine right in February. I think maybe the talks of a vaccine started in maybe March, April. But either way, yeah, that's super quick. That's way too fast of a timeline. And how are they doing the testing? Who are they testing on? And
I've read some deleted shit that I don't know if it's true or not. So I'll just say that, like, it could just be fucking straight up fake. But I read that they were doing some COVID trials somewhere in a different country, and like most of the people fucking died or got really, really sick like within a day or two. I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
I have nothing to substantiate it. I believe it, but I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of goes to what I kind of wanted to say also, is like how it's getting so hard to know who or what to believe online, because it's like just last week we said that the CDC came out and said that only 6% of the people with COVID were like pure COVID deaths or whatever. But now I'm hearing that was all photoshopped and not legitimate.
Who's from where? From like our side or like narrative side or? Only because I asked, because I was reading about flu deaths, because I was trying to compare some notes for something else. And on the CDC's website, I was looking at the flu deaths for between 2019 2020, like right before COVID started. And it says on there, like, there's like asterisks, like, this is the information now, but at the end of a flu season, new information comes in, they tally all the votes, basically saying, so this information is subject to change all the fucking time. So to me, it would make sense if they're like connecting the COVID deaths as they go along, because they basically say, this is how it happens. We get more information, and I think it's all bullshit. But from their side, from someone who believes the CDC, they're saying these numbers are going to change, especially toward the end of a fucking breakout season. So it makes sense to me that they'd be like, oh, actually, it's fucking 6%. But it also would make sense that they're just trying to fuck with all the people that don't want vaccines and give out fucking fake info.
That's what I'm confused about, because I thought I saw it on the CDC website, but again, I saw it online, and it's like, maybe it was just Instagram, like maybe it was just an Instagram post or a Twitter post, and you never know. So it's like, I don't know. It's best to maybe just screen record everything, so I think so. Ever since verify stuff, you know. I don't know. Ever
since the Antifa.com takes you to JoeBiden.com was like not deleted, but remember, like it was there and then it wasn't there.
But now it's like, back.
Now it's back. Yeah, but I was like shit. I need like when I see some shit, I need to start screen recording. Yeah, it needs to be documented.
Yeah.
But yeah, the screenshots that I saw were, I mean, unless they were really, really good.
Exactly.
And if they're really, really good, then it's like it's like liable, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can write whatever and post it, that's fine, but if you say it's from the CDC and it's not, then like you're getting to some sketchy territory. I don't think our side, our people do that shit.
But it would be coming from the other side for that misinformation to cause a...
It's just to pick your fucking...
like...
Pick your ending Goosebumps narrative. Book.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Bandersnatch. Is that what it's called? I haven't seen it.
You still haven't
I just like saying snatch. Yeah.
So this is something Kamala Harris said. I don't know exactly when she said. Oh, this was just recently. So she said, quote, "I think that we have learned since this pandemic started, but really before that there's very little that we can trust that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth," Harris said. "And so, no, I would not trust his word," she said. "I would trust the word of public health experts and scientists, but not Donald Trump." She was kind of asked if she would take the vaccine. So she was basically saying, like, I wouldn't take Trump's vaccine. Well, I would, but it has to come from, like, the word of, like, high-level officials. So I think then Donald Trump kind of said, that Biden and Harris should immediately apologize for the reckless anti-vaccine rhetoric that they are talking right now.
Whoa. See, sometimes he does shit, like when he put the mask on and was like, I'm the most patriotic. I'm wearing a mask.
I know.
I'm like, are you just trolling the other side? I've never heard him say anti-vaccine.
Yeah.
Even when he was talking anti-vaccine shit, which makes me think he's using that term as a fucking trigger.
Exactly.
And like, who is he trying to trigger?
That's what people are thinking, is that he kind of is doing this vaccine thing to get the left, who are always pro-vaccine, to be anti-vaccine, to be like, hey, I got you. But that's some bullshit, man. Like, we shouldn't be having a vaccine regardless.
Right.
And we shouldn't be playing these games if that's all it is.
And anything that you've read
pisses me off.
It's going to be fucking games till the end, I swear. But have you seen where anyone's saying it's going to be mandatory?
What?
The vaccine, the COVID vaccine?
No,
I haven't read that anywhere.
No, but that's what I worry about, especially when I hear like the military is gonna come, and just with the new normal and how these governors aren't really being constitutional or undermining our rights and stuff. So it's like I don't think so. Here's my thing. I don't think it's gonna be quote unquote mandatory, but I think businesses and any business, any place you want to live, work, anything, anywhere you want to operate, they're going to require you if you want to come in or if you want to work for them or whatever, you have to get it. So it's not going to be a mandatory thing where you have to go get it. But if you want to function in society, you're going to have to get it. You know what I mean? So it's like you would almost have to completely go off grid and kind of live off the land yourself and do it like that, which, I'm all about. I wish I kind of had that option, but, right. That's kind of what I fear. That's kind of where I could see it going, is where it's not mandatory, but everywhere else kind of enforces it because they're private business and they're allowed to do that. It's for their safety. And, if you don't want it, that's on you, but you can't come in, you can't, can't work for us. So
I might start burning stuff down at that point. I might turn this place into fucking Portland and just start burning shit and be an asshole. I might be pissed. Where would you go? Say everything, say you have to basically go to the fucking mountains if you don't get the fucking vaccine. Where would you go? What would you do? I don't have an answer.
7 wives.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I think then it would be kind of like Nazi Germany, where they're just coming around looking for whoever, going to your house.
Yeah.
I don't know
either.
It's a scary thing.
Might be a long road to Texas for me if they start doing that shit.
But you don't think they're gonna hit Texas?
I got a place. I got a place that might be off the map enough.
I got a place. It's a good place. It's a big place.
It's a good place.
It's got a good wall.
It's gonna. Oh, that's a great idea, actually. And I'm gonna make them pay for it.
And they'll pay for it on the other side.
Those ones. Them,
the others. Who are you talking about? See why you making it a race thing? I didn't say anything.
That's your new stand-up, is just doing Trump voice.
I think it's everybody's go-to impression. It's too easy.
I like it.
So he said Biden and Harris are talking about endangering lives, and it, what does that say? Undermines science, I think is what it said. And what's happening is all of a sudden you'll have this incredible vaccine, and because of that fake rhetoric, it's a political rhetoric. That's all it is, just for politics, because now they've seen we've done an incredible job and in speed like nobody's ever seen before. This could have taken 2 or 3 years, and instead it's going to be going to be done in such a very short period of time. Could even have it during the month of October. So contrary to all the lies, the vaccine they're politicizing, they'll say anything, and it's so dangerous for our country what they say, but the vaccine will be very safe and very effective, and it'll be delivered very soon. You could have a very big surprise coming up. I'm sure you'll be very happy. But the people will be happy. The people of the world will be happy.
What in the hell?
Yeah.
Isaiah, what is your guy talking about?
That was I watched that. I watched that. Because I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately just to kind of see what he's saying, what's going on.
Hey, it's election season, baby. You got to watch everything.
Exactly. And
make your bets.
Make my bookie. But yeah, I heard this and I was like, I don't like any part of this, man.
I don't understand how I am not changing, right? But everything that's happened this year has made me be viewed this way by people that hate or love police. Yeah. And now people that are over here about anti-vaccine or pro-vaccine are going to see me in a different way. I'm not changing. Yeah. I've never liked police brutality or vaccines or this shit, but everything is being so weirdly polarized. It's making people see me differently. Now if I say I don't like vaccines, am I going to be considered a fucking libtard Democrat? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Not that I give a fuck whatever people think about me, but that's what people are doing to other people's minds. They're manipulating their own fucking reality. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is. And this kind of led me into another thing I wanted to talk about was like the military has been on a decline. So it said near the end of the Cold War, we had 770,000 soldiers in active duty army. Today we have less than 480,000. We had nearly 600 ships in the Navy. Today we have 290, and most of that stuff is very old, says Wood, a veteran himself. So what do you think about the decline initially?
Like trying to explain it?
No, just your thoughts on people joining less.
I think our society is being wussified. I think most of the people in the military are male. And I think because of how males have been wussified over the years, is like that's in part due to the decline. For instance, I was in Okinawa. My wife's Okinawan, so we were over there talking to some of her family, and they said like back during like World War II and all that shit, like the military, like they saw them as like fucking like warriors, like heroes. The Okinawan people, they were like they were tough. They fucking defended us. We gave them food. Like they were cool, right? They had this fucking. They were like on the same team because Japan sucked and Japan was trying to fucking kill everybody, right? So the Okinawans were like, "Yo, Americans, like help us. We got your back, but you got the firepower." So that was how it was going. Nowadays, these people in the Okinawan Islands are saying like, all the military that go over there now, they just like play card games and they're on their phones all the time and they're playing video games all the time. So back in the day, it was like a lot of toxic masculinity and testosterone and fucking go to war, fuck people up, like America. Yeah. And now I think a lot of people are just joining just to get a college credit or just to get a little extra money or they have nothing else better to do. Like I watched this video of this one guy in the army going around talking to his friends. He's like, "Hey, why'd you join the army?" And everyone's like, I don't know. Yeah. I regret it. Haven't gotten my bonus yet. Dude, I don't know. Like,
yeah, dude, it's crazy because I was going to 10th Planet Oceanside for a while. It's been a couple years now, but there was this guy who went in, you know, initially was going because he believed in fighting for his country, you know, that he fell for that dream. He fell for that ideology.
Which I agree with the sentiment.
Yes, 100%. But once he got in, he realized he's being shipped overseas to fight these wars that he has nothing to do with, that are banker and politician wars.
Right.
He got introduced to the libertarian philosophy and started reading all these books and just started opening up his mind. He did this thing, indentured servitude, I think, where he basically... No, not indentured servitude. That's being a slave. I forget exactly what it fucking is called.
Separate but equal.
But he separated himself. It's this thing you say, and it kind of separates yourself from the military. Like you don't have to
sovereign?
Follow. Kind of. But it's a specific term. I forget exactly what it is. I'd have to look it up. But he did that, and he got looked at so differently because he was like, I'm not participating in anything you guys are doing. I'm not fighting for your bullshit, you know? And he was towards the end of his enrollment, and he got out as soon as he could, but he was like, this is bullshit, dude. It's all bullshit. And it was interesting to like see that point of view, you know? Someone who was in it for that reason, and then was exposed and was like, fuck this, I can't wait to get out, and found his way to remove himself from participating in anything.
Cool. We'll have to find out.
I forget the exact term. Yeah. It's frustrating, but
my dad has told me some shit because he was in there, right? And he said some shit, and it sounds like I guess it sounds like any other job, right? You're working for someone else. You never get the full story. You're just told to go do whatever's next, right? But then shit happens like Pat Tillman. You know, did you hear about that story about Pat Tillman? So Pat Tillman, NFL player, cool dude, Americana, whatever. He's like, I'm fucking so American, fuck football, I'm gonna go join the military. And he did, right? Badass.
So it's called, conscientious objector.
Oh, yeah, word. Yeah. That's like, like in the 60s when they go to Canada and shit.
Yeah. He can convince the military that they are conscientious objectors and may request a discharge. But yeah, he just did this and was like, I'm not participating in any... He got a lot of shit from his people, but, you know, he didn't agree with what they were doing. So yeah, that's what it's called, conscientious objector.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. So Pat Tillman got in the military, went overseas, and was like, "Oh, this is a bunch of fucking bullshit," and started to figure out some of the lies, some of the deceit.
If you love America, you would not join the military. Sorry.
And then he started to write stuff back to his mom and dad, I believe, like, "Yo, military's fucked. Like, I gotta tell everyone when I come back, this and that." So I believe they intercepted his letters, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking go tell everyone about how the military's fucked up, and everyone's gonna listen to you because you're an NFL player." Yeah. And then he was killed by friendly fire.
Friendly fire.
Are you fucking kidding me? That is an organized plot, to quote fucking George W. Bush. Like, and there's been a few people that have like had information in the military and they're gone.
Yeah.
Training exercise. Yep. Fucking friendly fire. Or fucking, oh my God, there was some chick, poor girl, who like was fucking raped and beaten, and they poured acid on her private so they couldn't see the fucking shit they left in there. Military ruled it a suicide. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, there are some dark people pulling some strings and everything, but the military, you're not allowed to fucking question it. Yeah. Like I said, my dad would tell me, like, you do this, like, they tell you what to do, you fucking do it. You don't get to be like, yo, what? Fuck you. Yeah, like, you just don't. You go to the brig.
Yeah, it's a
did you ever think about joining? I thought about joining.
Oh, of course. Early when I was a kid, definitely. Like, that was, it was because my dad went. Same. And it was what we grew up with. There was always the camo around, his old stuff, all that stuff. So
the ammo boxes. Did you ever have those ammo boxes? 100%. Fucking put all your bad shit in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
So there was all that stuff around all the time, and yeah, so of course I wanted to, but then I became aware. It's like I'm not, like, it's all bullshit, dude, and they're never gonna stop with the wars. It's like they're always gonna send you somewhere, and it's like I would, agree with protecting our shores, keeping us safe here. If that's what it was, if that's all it was, I would understand. If there was, like, a handful of bases across the country here, I'm cool with that. But they're all over the place, and that's not gonna stop.
Yeah, it's like the business equivalent of setting up franchises everywhere is what it feels like as far as military bases.
What mission, though? There's gonna be a never-ending mission. Like, it's the oil, it's the terrorism, it's weapons of mass. Like, what is the mission? It changes every war, and these aren't even constitutional wars. These aren't even real legitimate wars that we've been in since, I think, like, World War II and shit. Like, back then they were legitimate wars. Like, they operated differently. Now we just go in, take over, and like there's not the law of war anymore. It's just different, and it's not cool, and the mission just constantly changes. They can whatever, like, it's this, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't trust them. I don't trust what they do. I mean, those poppy fields aren't going to protect themselves, right? So now we control the world's fucking heroin because the war on terror, allegedly. I don't trust it. When I was 18, I wanted to join, and my dad said no, basically. He was like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, like, fucking everyone else did it. I want to do it too.
Yeah.
And he said, when you join, you are saying, I am willing to die not for America or not for the military. He said, like, I'm willing to die for the order that I was told.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you're just following orders.
Like, and he's like, and if you're good with that, go ahead and join. I was like,
you're a sheep. If you're in there,
I was like, I guess
desensitized.
Not. I was like, never mind.
You get desensitized, brainwashed, broken down, and you follow their order. You're not a part of America anymore. No matter, you're defending it, but you don't operate under the Constitution. You operate your government property, and fuck that.
I would like to join a new military that's focused on taking out DC. Because DC's foreign. DC's not a part of America.
Yeah, really drain the swamp, right?
That's what I'm talking about. If military was fucking protecting our interests, they'd be fucking taking out Newsom. Not killing. I don't mean that.
I would rather do something I love and enjoy instead of following orders from big government who are lying to us for why we're fighting wars and a never-ending mission.
I have obviously never joined the military, but I was in banking for 8 years. and then I learned about the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude,
that's
like,
what it is.
I was like, and I can be like, oh, I'm a credit union, so it's community, and I'm helping, and we have lower interest rates for people that can't afford shit. Like, I fed myself that bullshit for a while, and then I was like, I'm still a fucking like a foot soldier for the Federal Reserve, though.
Yeah.
I'm pushing that shit.
Yeah.
If I was still working there now, I'd have to tell people there's a coin shortage. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
You know, and that's like
Exactly.
I could have fucking
Just
stayed.
follow orders.
I could have stayed in banking forever. Like people do it. They say
Wear
their
your
whole
mask.
lives in fucking banking.
Wear your mask.
I
follow
couldn't do
orders.
it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, it was too much bullshit, and that's like part of the burden of fucking knowing all this stuff and being in this community is
yeah.
like you just see through all the bullshit, and you hit a
Yeah.
point sometimes in any fucking job. To Isaiah's point about having to take orders everywhere,
Yeah, it's
like
true.
you hit a wall and everything almost where it's like, God damn it, I know this is all bullshit. Where am I? What am I doing?
I mean, that's why it's like you gotta take it upon yourself and do something. You take control of your life and
Yeah.
don't be beholden to a boss or a corporation or anything like that. It's like that's why, just consistently doing this. I enjoy this. It's not generating income or anything like that, but if it's something you love and you're passionate about, it'll work out. I have no doubt about that.
Side note, this is a good outlet. I feel like I'm less aggressive in my real life because I have this hour
to
a
get
week
it-
to
yeah.
just say fuck a lot.
Hey, I feel the same way.
Yeah, right? Create some structure, some consistency.
Exactly.
Make some friends.
Yep. It's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, Sam Tripoli has been saying for a while, like, it seems like they kind of shut down the economy, kind of disrupted our whole way of living. Jobs aren't there. Military was on a decline, and what's the better way than to be supported than join the military? Hey, we need that patriotism right now. You love America, right? You better join the military. America wants you. Sounds like the same shit we heard from
Every war.
from World War II when the fucking posters of Uncle Sam pointing at you, it's like,
I like that poster.
yeah. But it's like it works,
It does. What about Space Force? Are they still recruiting? Are they done? Did they take anyone?
I think it was just a limited group, at least for now. But what is that?
I don't know.
Even,
In my mind,
because space ain't real, so what are they doing?
in my mind,
more
they're
tax dollars? Come on.
in my mind, they're going underground. They're training to fight underground to do some shit. I don't know what. Maybe they're going extraterrestrial, like outside the fucking the ice wall. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just a fantasy. I'm sure it's the same. They're gonna be pushing papers just like everybody else, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's lighten this up a little.
I do want to
bit.
go to boot. I do think boot camp would be fun. I would like to do boot camp. And I miss like
just the like exercises maybe, but
Yeah.
like
I
not
don't
want
wanna
to
shave my head.
Yeah, no, stay there overnight and shit. Well,
beat people with soap.
Yeah.
See, I have like a fucking fucked up like lion.
Because I'm cool with waking up early in the
fight and
morning
shit.
and exercising and having that structure, but yeah, not the way they go about it.
Yeah, I would get into fights in a towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I don't care if I lose. I just want to fight.
So, like I said, I wanted to lighten this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of. So Miley Cyrus was on the Joe Rogan podcast and Mike Tyson, and both of them, who have been vegan for a handful of years, both of them kind of came out on the Joe Rogan podcast saying that they are no longer vegan. And Miley Cyrus claimed it was because she wasn't getting omegas. She said she was on a strict vegan diet and was taking all the supplements and all that, but was still lacking omega. So it was like, to me, you clearly weren't a strict vegan if you didn't even have the understanding that you can get these omegas from other supplements. So you clearly weren't a strict vegan and following it the way you say you were.
And like people make their decisions, and they make their decisions for whatever reasons, but don't say it doesn't work. Say you weren't fully committed. Because like someone who's like, would you ever consider like, well, maybe I'll work in some fish if my omegas are a little low?
No,
It's not an option for you.
No, it's not an option.
For her, it was an option.
Yeah,
so it doesn't feel like she
crazy.
was like, I'm vegan and I have been for about 5-6 years
I
now.
think we've been about the same time. Yeah, I didn't know you, but I think when we met, my brother said, "Oh yeah, this guy's been vegan for like the same amount of time as you."
Won't shut up about flat Earth.
Exactly. It's like he's just like you in all these ways. Wrestling, flat Earth, like all this stuff.
Keep it flat.
And vegan. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Who's this guy?
I was like, I don't trust this guy yet. We gotta see. I don't know. Yeah, but like I'm not lacking anything, and I don't even eat the healthiest. You know what I mean? But I probably lack the same or equivalent to like a typical fucking person.
Yeah.
But I try and supplement a lot. Like I try to be in the sun as much as I possibly can to get that vitamin D that I know I wasn't getting beforehand. But like a lot of it isn't even necessarily what you think about eating animals or not. That's a whole nother conversation. But just like people don't understand how the body fucking stays healthy. They just don't get it. They think if you eat something organic from the fucking supermarket, you're good. Like, no, there's more to it than that. You, like, even where that shit is grown, the topsoil of our fucking nation has just been annihilated over the last 30 years. You know, like, just none of us are healthy.
Going and digging in that Vista dirt.
Yeah, oh my God. I was out there again today. It's ridiculous. I need a pickaxe.
Got fucking blisters on my hands.
Yeah, that's right. Got to dig that fucking garden and make that food. But, yeah, I guess I don't know. I went off on a tangent, but I don't. My point being, she doesn't seem like she was fully committed.
Yeah, it's like if you're vegan and it was for the animals initially, that's what her reason was. However long ago she said she was, like it was like 13 years I think she was vegan. Is because she got a fish and like she couldn't eat it, or she like grew connected to the pet fish, so that's why she became vegan. So it was for the animals, but now you're gonna go back to the same thing that made you're going back to fish. The same thing that made
your little dude,
vegan.
Your little buddy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, like
it's
if you were
crazy.
doing it for health and your health concerns change, okay, whatever. If you're doing it like you're like, oh, I think they cause greenhouse gases, so I'm not gonna eat cheeseburgers, like, and then you go back like whatever. But if you're like, yo, eating animals is not cool, and then like you go and do it some years later, it seems like she wasn't committed.
Yeah.
And again, I know fucking people, whatever, they make their decisions, they do whatever they want, and God forbid you call someone a fucking fake, but she seems like she would be in a fucking fake.
I love fish too. That's why I wouldn't eat them.
I actually, seriously, never a big fan of eating fish.
Me either.
Not even really have. I had one beta fish. I thought he was fucking cool, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't do much with the.
I
with
love
the ocean.
all animals. That's why I don't eat them. You know.
I don't like people so much, but I do like animals.
Exactly. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that both of these people have kind of been vegans for a while. I know Mike Tyson is getting ready for a fight again. So he's kind of introducing more protein and all that. But it's frustrating because it's like, if you really cared about it and were an activist for it, you would, find ways to not, do it. And Miley is funny because she's like, they're going to come after me. The vegan community is going to come after me. She knew what she was getting into, but she said she was like malnourished at one point, and she wouldn't be able to function. Her brain wouldn't be able to function properly. She said she wouldn't be able to have a quick conversation. And it's like, man, I'm stoned as fuck right now. I can have a good conversation.
How much of her...
I can still think quick.
How much of her brain not working was those peanut butter and crack sandwiches she was having all the time, though? How much of her brain not functioning is fucking programming? Like, how much of her brain not working is other shit that she's
her
just
head
using...
injury.
Just using vegan like a... Yeah, dude. Just using veganism as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
And... Is it weird that I'm kind of skeptical of Joe Rogan for having these people on, like, kind of denouncing veganism?
It's frustrating, dude.
Not that, like, I mean, like...
He's been that way, and even when he has vegans on, he'll always try and get them to, like, introduce honey into, like, he's always you need to try elk meat. Like, he's always trying to get them to not be vegan anymore, and it's frustrating. It's like... I see it like Rogan is one of those people. It's like I respect him, but I also can point out the bullshit too, Like you gotta give it to him. He's created an empire, And but with that, he kind of on his Spotify transfer, dude. He's Alex Jones' episodes haven't been on. Steven Crowder's episodes haven't been uploaded. I think Sam Tripoli's episodes haven't been uploaded. So all the Truth People's episodes haven't been uploaded to Spotify yet.
Weird.
Yeah.
What about his dude? What's his name? That 10th Planet guy. That's
Eddie Bravo?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think any of those
because Eddie Bravo's like the king. Like he's super conspiracy. I know.
He hasn't been on in a while, dude. I think he's struggling with the whole COVID, I think his gyms really took a hit.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to probably figure it out. He's been like really kind of quiet on social media. And
he did say he was tired of fucking trying to wake people up, and he wasn't gonna do it anymore.
That is true too. And I think all this happened at the same time. Yeah. And I think honestly, like his gym shutting down kind of really has affected him.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. But I mean, man, he needs to like link back up with Sam and just get that going, get back on those.
I love when he's on tinfoil hat.
Yeah, it's the best.
You can cuss as much as you want. They say whatever they want. I love it.
I know, and it always leads to flat Earth with him. Yeah. Every single thing. It's hilarious.
I believe it.
It's
I don't have to look into it. I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could see where the money goes, I believe it. I believe it.
Like, it's true. It's true. So fucking Miley. I mean, she looks decent. She looks like she's somewhat in charge of her faculties. Yeah. I mean, if we're using like Joe Biden as an over-under, she for sure is in charge of her faculties, so that's awesome. She could have a conversation. She was quick on the podcast, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if she's shaken free of those fucking demons controlling her, that's awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? I gotta give it up for, I don't know about Mike Tyson. I don't know what's up with him. Got a face tattoo and some birds or shit, and that's fine. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, man. Like, he's an interesting guy. I mean, I was watching his podcast. He was getting really into the weed game for a while. I think he's still making the Tyson Ranch. I don't know if that's put on hold or what, but I know he's just kind of getting back in this fighting mode. But yeah, he was promoting being vegan for like a while when I was watching his podcast. So I was really bummed when I heard both of these people, man, because it's like we need more kind of advocates. But yeah, it's like I just feel like there's a lot of these kind of fake vegans or kind of those who just use it for like a platform. Yeah, the trendy thing to do, you know. It was the trendy thing to do for like a year or two ago. Yeah. We should have a is being vegan a tool of the NWO episode at some point, though. Yeah, that would be fun to discuss both sides. Yeah. But the Miley thing being on Rogan kind of got us thinking about that Black Mirror episode a little bit, right? Yeah. The Black Mirror episode. So when I first saw it, it was like one of the last episodes in like the last seasons that they put out on Black Mirror. And I initially thought it was about like her situation. That's how I took it. But then I've been reading stuff, hearing some things, and people think that story is actually about Britney Spears. That kind of blew my mind when you said that, because there's a lot going on with Britney Spears right now. Yeah, because I was like, oh, Miley, she made that show. It's kind of getting out a little bit of how she's felt over the last years. Like, she's getting in charge again, whatever. But then you said that, and I was like, oh, dude, that's totally could go either way. Yeah. And again, Britney is a whole nother subject, but is it about her and just being a fucking prisoner to family members and a prisoner to the fame and having to write these songs, having to go sing and dance, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and like Tripoli has said, like with these big stars, like little economies pop up around them, and it's like, hey, no, like you need to keep performing because all these people are here leeching off of you. Yeah. They're all here to make money off of you. You know what I mean? And that trips me out because Britney can't do shit, I don't think. I think her dad's still in charge of her stuff. Yeah, I know there's a court thing going on right now where her sister is trying to get in charge of the conservatorship, which I think would be beneficial. I think her sister, I know, how long ago was that? Leave Britney alone. Leave Britney alone. That dude knew what was up. Dude, crazy, that chick, right? That person knew what was up. That they. I don't want to fucking be roasted. Good Lord. Shit, you kind of interrupted me there. We were talking about Britney and how Jamie Lynn Spears might be trying to get I think, which I think would be beneficial for Britney. I think it would then start to give her more freedom. But that's an interesting thing when I started hearing that about the Black Mirror episode and how it could be intertwined with Britney Spears. So I'm going to have to rewatch that episode with Britney in mind for sure, and not going into every single weird Instagram post Britney does. Not to branch off too much, but going back to Jamie. What's Project Rose, though? What's Project Rose? And then who is Jamie Lynn Spears' kid's dad? We'll get into all that another time. But also we needed to talk about The Rock, dude. Mr. Okay, let's get that one in. We got like a couple minutes left. So dude says his whole family has COVID.
And dude, my prediction is, then you said like, oh, Rock for president or whatever, and I said Kanye. But then it got me thinking. I was like, dude, next election cycle, if one of his family members dies, I'm like, boom, there's the sacrifice. He really legitimately could be president. Yep. He has the millions
and millions
of people to that popularity, you know? Yeah. And I think he was a Republican in the past, so he had more of those conservative values, but I'm sure he can kind of go both ways. And I'm
sure he does go both ways.
Exactly. And then just kind of hearing some of the suspect things that the SNL skits and all of that. You want to kind of talk about some of that real quick?
So, and to go back even further, we've been what lifelong wrestling fans, basically.
Yeah.
So we've seen The Rock come up from nothing to main eventer to megastar to Hollywood star to whatever the fuck he's doing now. So we're not just saying, oh, The Rock said something and we hate him. No.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen this dude change throughout the years. And so I have a little storage file in my head about The Rock. And the skit from SNL where for the most evil creation contest, he made a child molesting robot.
Yeah.
That what is like molest children twice as fast as a person or some shit, and everybody's laughing, but he is talking about molesting children. And
I will say they weren't really laughing in the skit. They were like, "What the fuck? What did you just say? What did you say?" But he was like, "Oh yeah, no, like
I heard laughing."
Faster than I think that might have been the audience.
It may have been the laugh track.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember seeing the people were like, they were like,
okay,
what?
See, I don't remember seeing people, but I know I've heard it a few times. There's that one, and then there was, I don't even know what interview it was.
Dude, that interview.
But The Rock's talking to, it looks like an adult male and probably his son.
Kid, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming. And The Rock says how he eats babies. And
eats children.
He eats children, yeah. And the kid's like,
how old are you?
Yeah. And the kid's like
11.
12. He's at 12, and he's like, okay, I just do 10 and under.
10 and under.
So Rock is saying how he eats kids 10 and under. He fucking made that child molesting robot. There was some other thing I didn't get to confirm, but allegedly he made an Instagram post that kind of joked about eating babies again.
Yeah.
So he's out there saying this shit. He's out there doing this shit. Fucking, we know like someone on the same kind of level, ex-wrestler, now fucking movie star Batista, got that all-seeing eye tattooed on him. So as far as going from wrestling to Hollywood, it's not like they're not taking people.
Yeah.
So like to your point about how it could be a fucking, maybe one of his family members passes and that's his fucking blood in.
I think it is, dude.
And I've for a while
on the lookout
for that blood in.
If somebody in his family dies, dude.
Meal prepping babies, that's terrible.
That's how he gets jacked, man.
And then there was another part of that video where they were talking about some guy, I forgot his name, old dude, said he like basically he was alluding to drinking adrenochrome, and this dude was friends with Rock. Like, and, you know, and so there's a lot of shit around it.
Yeah.
And I think he is going to run for president at some point. God help us all.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely feel, I don't want to put it out there, but it's like I almost guarantee someone from his family is gonna die, you know. And it's like I don't want to put it out there. I don't want to say that, but it's like that's honestly what I see happening, and then that could lead because then everybody would be so sympathetic. Oh, remember he just lost someone, and then he's out campaigning. Oh my gosh, he's the strength of him, the courage, you know, and then boom, he's president, and then the agenda, whatever that is. And
I will say he would be great at doing the debates, I'm sure. Like he knows how to cut a promo. So
exactly. He would
imagine Rock and Kanye cutting promos on each other.
He would be like Trump. He would have that entertainment factor, you know, but just different. Like not
he would
Trump,
have
but
the
different.
Trump entertainment factor with like the half black
exactly,
Barack vibe.
Exactly.
That's deadly.
And then if he has the sacrifice, the sympathy, and it'd be the perfect storm. When you said that, I was like, oh no, Kanye. I'd be more for Kanye. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, with everything that we kind of talked about and laid out, kind of how he is, it's like, I don't trust it.
I don't trust
any of these motherfuckers anymore.
Anything, yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm just drifting through space that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Floating through nothing.
Floating through nothing.
Anyway, that is kind of it. Make sure this will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Are we gonna try and get another episode in?
I would love to have a 9/11 episode.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do that. So we're gonna try and upload that on Friday. I did see something about Kanye walking on water. I didn't see the video yet, but yeah, it's crazy. Definitely some fake shit going on. I don't trust any of them. But any last words here?
No, man. I think I said fuck enough.
Fuck enough.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Go follow this account. And until next time, everybody. Peace.